Welcome to Aging Untold. Hip fractures affect up to 300,000 older adults each year in the U.S. These injuries can carry serious consequences like loss of independence and increased mortality within the year of the break. Dr. Ray, is there anything about hip fractures that some people might find surprising?
Well, I want them to think of it as a broken bone is more than just a broken bone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different things that go along with that come after the fact, and the mortality is high. Within the first year, there's about a 15% mortality of death, which is pretty devastating. The other thing is, why does it happen? You know, as people are getting older, they have nutritional deficiencies, those bones are getting weak. A big cause is osteoporosis, weakening of the bones, but falls because you're losing your strength, you don't have the muscles, and your balance is off, and it can be very, very devastating, and the decline is huge. It's very hard to come back from a fall, especially when you're older, because you don't tolerate surgery as well, you don't tolerate anesthesia. It's very easy to get septic, infections, everything is such more difficult.
Yeah. Like just a huge cascade
It's
of decline and events that can happen.
Downhill.
Right. I've always said it's not the fall that does the damage, it's what happens after the fall. So let's just, worst case scenario, you have a long lay because you don't have a fall alert. And so you've got to have a fall alert. I don't care if you live with someone else, have some kind of a fall alert button. But if you lay there, then you've got the damage from the long lay, you've got a broken bone, you can dehydrate, you can, all kinds of things go on. But once you go into the surgery, you've made it to the hospital, you go into the surgery, now you have anesthesia on board, you have chances of hospital delirium, which are high, pneumonias and infections. So then what happens is that emotional drainage and fear.
Yeah.
So instead of walking again, I have seen people that will literally bedbound themselves. They could rehab, they could walk, but they're so afraid of going through it again, they don't even try. And so they come out of the hospital, and instead of rehabbing out, they just choose to go to bed. And I've seen it.
Going to bed, staying in the chair, and
Yeah.
now you're really creating more misery. I
Yeah.
think when you get in that weak, fragile state,
Yes.
and rather than having the fortitude to think, what can we do to make this better?
I got a tip. You're in the hospital, you've broken your hip, and you have the option to get therapy. You can get it in the hospital. You get it at inpatient rehab hospital. It's more aggressive, 3 hours at a minimum per day. So if you can handle that kind of therapy, go for it. Or you can get it at a skilled nursing facility. So look on the Center for Medicare Advocacy website, get all the detail, each place that you can get therapy, but go ahead and take the more aggressive place to get the therapy so that it gives you a good leg up for the future. I had 2 people in my career opt out of hip surgery because they were so afraid of the anesthesia.
Right.
Now, I'm not recommending that, but I'm saying it's that big a decision how you approach after you've broken your hip.
It's a valid fear too, because anesthesia on the elderly, depending on your genetic makeup, you'll start to see a decline there too as well.
Right.
So
Right. I've had a lady who never came back from hip surgery, and it had nothing to do with the surgery or the recovery. She came back walking, but she never recovered from the anesthesia and the delirium it created. So these are legitimate
Very
fears.
legitimate,
yeah.
You can rehab in home too. There are home health agencies that'll come into the home and provide PT. You just have to be dedicated enough. You have to have that almost athletic mindset that says, you show me and I'm going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
So really, the hope is that we prevent the fall to start
Absolutely.
with.
And
Yeah.
One thing I would add to that, following your lead about doing it at home, celebrate those little milestones.
Yeah.
If you've graduated from a walker to a quad cane, celebrate it. It takes longer than you want it to get your rehabilitation to get up. It takes longer. I've got a 92-year-old that I talked to the other day. It's been 4 months. She's now on a quad cane. I was blown away. I thought, good for you. She goes, oh, it's not good enough for me. I'm mad. And I said, well, let that rage work for you.
I
Well, I
like
think
that.
it's really so important that the biggest key is prevention. Don't
Right.
wait until it happens. What can we do? Let's make sure there's no clutter. Let's make sure we have good lighting. Let's
Yeah.
be working out. Let's get the muscle strength. Let's get that balance up.
Let's say that one more time. Make sure there's no clutter. Make sure there's plenty of lighting. What I
Plenty of
see
lighting.
all the time is that seniors are turning all the lights off in their house out of habit to save on the electric bill. This is no time.
Thank you.
This is
Thank you.
no time
We don't
to
need
be
to live
saving
in a cave.
on the light bulbs. Get the lights on. We need twice as much light, at least by the time we're 60, if not younger. One fall can change it all. And a misnomer is a lot of people think, oh, poor mom, she fell and broke her hip. A lot of times she broke her hip and
Yes.
then
Then she
she
fell.
fell.
And then she fell.
And so how can we hedge our bets? The environment is key. We need to make sure that we're living in a very safe, well-lit environment and that we are working our muscles. And there's nothing that prevents you from bringing in a fitness trainer, physical therapist, or OT. It doesn't necessarily have to be prescribed by a doctor. You need to take your health into your own hands, be your own best coach, your own best advocate.